Srimati Varsha Rao, who is going to present Ganga Dasera. Over to you, Varshamma.
So today we will look at a story. Like every time, I am here to relate a story to all of you. So today we will see a story of River Ganga, like Ganga Ma, whom we call. Okay, so it's a very interesting story, and we will see how Ganga Ma came down from the heaven to earth. How did she come down from heaven to earth? Do any one of you all know this story?
I know.
Yes.
I also know.
Oh, very nice.
Yes, she is called also Bhagirathi.
Okay, she's also called Bhagirathi. Very good. So we will today again see why the river Ganga is also known as Bhagirathi. Do you all know why she's known as Bhagirathi?
Yes.
Yes, because Bhagirathi got her down.
Not the Ganga from heaven to earth. So she's
Yes.
called Bhagirathi.
Correct. Okay, very nice. So, since all of you all know major of this, I will just quickly relate, in short, as to how Ganga, why Bhagirathi got her down from the heaven to earth. Okay, we'll quickly see this. Now, it so happened that long time ago, in the kingdom of Ayodhya, there lived a king called King Sagara. Now, do you all know who King Dashrath was? Do you all know?
Yes. Father of Rama.
Yes. He was father of Rama. Very good. Very good. All good. Full marks to all of you. Okay. So now King Sagara was the ancestor of King Dashratha. Okay. So in Ayodhya, there lived King Sagara. Now King Sagara had two wives. Okay. Keshini and Sumuti. But he had no children. Then he prayed to the Lord, and then finally he was granted a boon. So Keshini, his wife, gave birth to one son, Asmanja, and the other wife, she didn't give birth. That is another story, but we will not go into that. The other queen had 60,000 sons. How many sons?
16.
16,000 sons.
It is 6 and 0 and 0, 60. 60,000 sons, not 10 or 6. It is 60. Okay.
16.
So, 60. 60. Yes, 60,000 sons. Okay. Now, then the king was very happy. And as the children grew up, then the first son, Asmanja, he was married and he had a son. His name was Anshuman. Okay. And now, as the time passed, it so happened that King Sagara decided that he wanted to do an Ashwamedha Medha Yagna. Do you all know what is Ashwamedha Yagna? All of you?
Yes, Lord Rama had done it.
Who had done it?
Yes. Oh, a horse. They will. The horse will go, and where the horse will go, they will occupy that place. If anybody doesn't even
challenge
that
fight.
place, we have to fight them.
They will fight with you.
Oh, right. Correct. Great. So, Ashwamedha Yoga is like where a white horse, it has to be a white horse, no other color horse. It has to be a white horse. So, a white horse is taken and it is led into all the kingdoms. It is allowed to roam for one whole year. It is to roam through all the kingdoms. And any king who stops the horse will have to fight the owner of that horse, the king of that, to whom the horse belongs. This is what that Ashwamedha Yagya is. After 1 year, the horse will return back to the kingdom, and then the Yagya will be considered completed. This is what it was. So King Sagara had already done 99 such Ashwamedha Yagya. Okay, and now he was on his way to do the 100th Yagya. And when he started doing this, Lord Indra, as usual, you can see it on the screen, was a very insecure Lord actually. He started wondering, now if this king finishes doing this 100th yagya, he'll become more powerful than me. So now I need to stop him. So what he does, he quietly goes and he steals a horse before the yagya started. He steals a horse and he takes it. And where he goes and he ties this horse into into the sage Kapila's ashram. Now what happens here is King Sagara is frantic. He's wondering, where is my horse? How am I going to start the yajna without my horse? So then he tells his 60,000 sons, go and now search for that horse. It's very important. Otherwise, how will we do the yajna? Go fast. So then the 60,000 sons, imagine 60,000 of them are roaming the entire earth searching, but they are not able to find. And then they are really, tired and angry. And then now, since the entire earth they have seen, now what they do is they dig the earth and they go into the Patal Loka. Patal Loka is, there are 3 lokas. What are the 3 lokas?
Swarg, Bhula, Loki, and Patal.
Yes. So then they go to the Patal Loka quickly, and then they search there as well. And then suddenly they come to a clearing, and they see that there is a white horse which is tied near the ashram of sage Kapila. And sage Kapila is deep in meditation. Now, sage Kapila is also known as the incarnation of Lord Vishnu. He's also considered, he's not the 6th incarnation, but he's one of the incarnations. The 10 main incarnations we have already seen, but he's also considered to be an incarnation. So then he goes to sage Kapila's see, this is where it is. This is sage Kapila's hermitage. And now then they are so angry when they see the horse tied there that, they are about to pounce on sage Kapila when the sage opens his eyes and he, with one glare of his eyes, and he just says, hum. And the 60,000 sons are burnt right there and then. They turn into ashes, because they have disturbed his meditation. Okay. Now, then they are not able to return back. Now, King Sagara is waiting here for them to come back, and they have not come back. And he is wondering, what happened? Finally, he tells his grandson, who is Anshuman, can you please go and search, what happened to your uncles and what happened to the horse? So then Anshuman goes, and Anshuman is a very good soul. He's very loved by his subjects. He goes searching, and finally he comes to sage Kapila's ashram. And there he realizes what has happened to his uncle. So then he's very unhappy. He's searching, for a way to bring back his uncles to life. But he's not able to do that because there's no water in Patal Loka as well. So he's just sitting there dejected, where, there is that Garuda. Who is Garuda in our Puranas? Who is Garuda?
The vehicle of Lord Vishnu.
Very good. Yes.
Lord Vishnu.
Lord Vishnu's
Vahana. Very nice. That he is Lord Vishnu's Vahana. So Garuda comes there and he tells Anshuman that, you know what? How you will get back your uncle's lives? Only if river Ganga will come down from heaven, and her water will go past through the ashes of your uncles, then they will be liberated. This is what he says. Now Anshuman is like, okay, I will do this. Then he goes back to his kingdom. He is made the king by King Sagara. He becomes the king. Then what he does is he makes his son the king, and he goes to the forest and he starts his penance. For 3,200 years, he is, he's doing the penance. But, there is no use. Koi fayda nahi hua. Why? And then he dies after this. After doing so much of penance also, he doesn't get the boon and he dies in that. So then his son, King Dilip, is unable to continue with this. He also gives up. He just cannot do this. Now, King Dilip has a son called Bhagirath. Now, Bhagirath is a very powerful sage himself. And when Bhagirath comes to know that, his ancestors are, left like this without liberating them, he decides that he will get back his ancestors. He will liberate those ancestors. So what he does is, he starts his penance. And for thousands of years, he is standing on one foot of his, and with the hands raised for thousands of years. Finally, very happy, with the penance, Lord Brahma appears before him and he says that you can have your wish. You can bring Ganga down. So Bhagirath is very happy. Now Bhagirath says, finally my ancestors will, have the liberation of their souls. Now, when Ganga hears that she has to go down, and Ganga is a very young girl at that time. She was very young. She was around 15, 16 years old. When she hears, she's very unhappy. She doesn't want to go down. She's very happy in heaven. So why she wants to go down to earth? So she doesn't want to go. So then when she comes to know that she has to go because Bhagirath has been, granted that boon, so then she decides that she will flow with so much of energy and so much of power that the entire earth will be destroyed. Now when Bhagirath comes to know of this, he is very unhappy. He's like, if the earth is destroyed, what will happen? So then again he has to find a way. Then Narad, sage Narad comes there and he tells him a way out. So then the way out is that he has to pray to Lord Shiva and ask his help. So then again he starts his penance. Again for thousands of years he's doing his penance. Finally Lord Shiva is happy with him and he comes. And then he says, okay, what I will do is I will, hold River Ganga in my locks so that, very slowly and gently, then I will leave her on the earth. Bhagirath is very happy. Bhagirath said, great. So then now River Ganga has to come again. She's not very happy about going into Shiva's locks as well. This is how even Shiva is known as Jatadhari. Jatadhari means where Ganga is folded in his locks, in his hair. That is why he's known as Jatadhari as well. So finally Ganga comes and she flows into his locks. And as usual, she's very naughty. So she's, playing inside that, going here, going there. And the more she goes here, Shiva tightens his locks around her in such a way that Ganga can't move anywhere. Ganga is trapped inside it, and his hair starts looking as if it's a mountain on his head. That is how much, tightly he ties. Finally, Ganga is also bored. Like, how much more can I, sit inside the lock of Shiva? She wants to get out. And Shiva is not allowing her to go. Again, Bhagirath has to pray to Shiva, please Shiva, leave her, I need her on earth. So finally Shiva says, okay, fine. So then slowly he leaves her, in streams, he leaves Ganga, and she's coming down, following Bhagirath and coming down. So, and it's a real beautiful sight to behold. The young and bubbly Ganga flowing, along with, a lot of fishes are there, tortoises, sea elephants, all of these creatures along with that water is flowing along and following Bhagirath. So, and everybody is happy to see such a beautiful sight. And, sometimes she goes here and there, but most of the time she's following Bhagirath. Now they reach one place where sage Jahanu is performing a yagya. Okay. Now when you do a yagya, there is a fire. So the fire is lit and the sage is busy preparing for that yagya. Then suddenly, what this Ganga does? As usual, the naughty Ganga, she goes and she floods the water of that yagya. She floods the entire place and the yagya is, gone. The fire is gone, so the yagya is destroyed. Now, say Jahanu gets so angry that, in one gulp, he swallows Ganga. Now, again, Bhagirath is like, Vapas. Now, again, how many times do I have to keep, doing penance for Ganga to come? So then, all the gods are like, telling, say, Jahanu, see, Bhagirath has, taken so much of pains. Please leave Ganga. I know she's done it, but, she'll be a good child. So please leave her. So then Jahanu says, okay. Now, there are two ways. There are two ways that he leaves Ganga, but I'm not sure which way. One is through she emerges out from his ears, and another one story which says that she comes out from the left thigh. He makes a cut in his left thigh, and she comes out. And that is why she's also known as Janvi, because she comes out from, say, Jahanu. So she's known as Janvi because of that. So, and he's considered the father because she comes out from him. Now, finally, she comes out, and then like one good child, she is following Bhagirath. And Bhagirath now is praying very desperately कि बाबा ये ना मेरे से सीधा आ जाए और मेरे ancestors के ashes के ऊपर आ जाए ताकि they are redeemed. Then, like one good child, she follows Bhagirath, and finally Bhagirath reaches the place where his ancestors were turned to ashes. And then the Ganga river flows over those ashes, and the souls of his ancestors are redeemed. They find liberation. So this is why river Ganga is considered very holy, and that is why we immerse the ashes of our whoever we die in the river Ganga, because they can attain moksha. Okay, so all of you all like the story?
Yes,
Yes, like so much. It is very interesting.
Okay, great.
It's
So
very interesting.
yes, I hope you all
Very
remember.
interesting.
Great. So now all of you all know this. Okay, great. Now hopefully you all remember this and tell your parents and share it with your friends as well. Now, okay, great. Chalo, see you. Bye.
Thank you, Varshama. That was a wonderful narration. Thank you.